Relationships kankei. Friends are known first in hardships, Japanese proverb. Your relationships, whether with a partner, a family member, a friend, a colleague or with yourself, will evolve over time and ebb and flow. A university friendship might look very different when you are in your late 30s and have stressful careers or families of your own. Similarly, a couple who have retired together will discover that their relationship suddenly looks entirely different from how it was when they were both working and not under each other's feet all of the time. Your relationship with your sibling might transform when one of you moves to another town. The way that you feel about yourself as a teenager will be different from your relationship with yourself as an adult. As such, it is important to keep attuned to how you feel about the various relationships in your life. If you are mindful of your relationships and their impact on you, then you are more likely to recognize those relationships that enhance your life and those that are a potentially negative influence. The benefits of relationships. Humans have always formed bonds with others, and it goes beyond having a cavewoman pal to help collect berries with or a farming mate in the next field with whom you could exchange rice. A feeling of social connectedness and belonging has been consistently linked to happiness. 32 good relationships and the support they offer have been shown to reduce our stress levels and promote longer life. 33. You can have the most successful career, infinite amounts of money and good health, but you will still be unhappy if you don't have fulfilling personal relationships. Hundreds of studies have shown the correlation between having good relationships and personal happiness, and psychologists emphasize the quality of your relationships over the quantity of them. It is far better to have a few very meaningful relationships than lots of unsatisfactory ones. In this day and age, when we are being pulled in so many different directions, the pressure to keep in contact with people, not only in real life but online too, can feel too much at times. It is much easier to stay connected with people, but it also means that there are more people we feel the need to stay connected with. We are expected to quickly respond to every call and message, whether that is a random person on social media or the childminder asking, "Why you dropped off your child wearing a tutu again?" Answer: "She wouldn't wear anything else without screaming and you wanted to make your life easier." As such, it can be easy to devote your energy to those who demand attention first rather than to those whom you would prefer to give your attention. Do a relationship inventory. As with all things Kaizen, the first step is to take stock and ask yourself some probing questions about your relationships. Take a piece of paper and divide it into sections, such as family, romantic relationships, friendships, colleagues, etc. For each section, write down the most important people in each category. Rather than feeling like you have to tackle absolutely every relationship in your life at once, initially choose just one or two people who you would like to focus on. This could be because they are the most important person to you, or a person you feel you are drifting away from, or somebody who is going through a tough time. Keep the following questions in the forefront of your mind. What are the main emotions that the thought of this person evokes? Happiness, sadness, anxiety, joyfulness, competitiveness, equality, hate, love, hilarity, draining, boosting, burdensome, trusting. Does this person make an equal effort with me? Does this person enrich my life by being in it? When did we last spend quality time together? Do I feel like I want to spend more or less time with them? Do I feel like my best self when I am with this person? How has our relationship evolved over time, and what has changed, either for the better or worse? Do I feel independent enough from this person? Improving relationships. Talk. If you are agonizing over the direction that a relationship is taking, it may be that a friend or partner has no idea that you are feeling a little neglected by them, or you are sad that you have drifted apart. Or it may be that they have been feeling the same and haven't known how to broach it. Being brave and letting them know how you feel can be transformative. If you feel incapable of doing this face-to-face, then a wisely worded text or email can do wonders. Conversely, if they react badly or don't seem to care for your feelings, then it is a clear sign that you should extricate yourself from the relationship. Practice gratitude. Keeping a gratitude journal or diary can remind you to take stock and appreciate those around you. At the end of each day, write down the name of a person who has made you happy and why. Look back on this regularly and appreciate the relationships that you have. First Kaizen step. Keep a gratitude journal for a week and each day write about a person who made your day better. Let your loved ones know how important they are to you. It is easy to assume that people know how much they mean to you, but that isn't always the case. First Kaizen step. Try choosing one person each week to send a note to, whether that is via text, postcard, or email, and tell them why they make you happy, give them a compliment, or tell them that you are thinking of them. Think of one small act you can do. If your partner is stressed about work, can you make them breakfast in bed? Or if your colleague is upset about something, can you buy them some chocolate from the work vending machine? If your friend is having a hard time, can you go over with a takeaway? Try to do one small act per week and notice how your relationships change. Celebrate your independence. Try thinking of one activity you can do per week that is just for you and not dependent on anybody else. If you usually go to the cinema with your partner but don't always agree on what to see, then plan a solo trip to see something that you can enjoy without worrying about whether they are hatting it or not. It may feel like a contradiction to advocate independence when we're talking about relationships, but having space from others, and especially from your partner, is important for cultivating a relationship with yourself. Find your tribe. If you are feeling isolated or like you have drifted from some of your friends, then make an effort to find people who have similar interests to you. You could seek out new people locally or online, one of the actual benefits of social media, and try not to feel guilty about those who you leave behind. Remember that some friends will suit you at a certain time of your life, but that you might not have as much in common with them as you get older and your circumstances change. There may be people who fitted your lifestyle when you wanted to go out clubbing every weeknight, but who you struggle to talk to now that you don't want to do that anymore. Or people who you bonded with over having children at a similar age, but with whom you now share little common ground. Try to accept that this is a natural part of getting older and move on. It is worth spending energy on those who bring you happiness. Remember the old adage of quality over quantity. Reach out to your community. Feeling connected with those around us shouldn't just be limited to your immediate friends and family. Try doing one act a week that will benefit somebody who you do know. If you have time, then it could be volunteering with a local charity or helping out at a community center. Or it can be just small one-off gestures, such as buying a coffee for a homeless person and having a chat to them, or giving directions to somebody in the street who looks completely lost. You never know what good might happen from these small interactions, and putting a bit of kindness back into the world is no bad thing for us all. Difficult relationships. There can be some relationships in your life which are unhealthy and can affect you deeply. If there are any people on your relationship inventory who cause you to feel a negative feeling, have a think about why that could be. It may be that the person is going through a difficult time and you don't know the whole story. It could be that they are struggling at work, with their health, or generally feeling bad about themselves, and projecting that onto you. They could feel competitive with you or envious of you, and are going about it in entirely the wrong way. If the person is important to you, then it is good to address the tension in your relationship before it's too late. Rather than accosting the person and dealing with the problem in a hot-headed and impulsive manner, it is much better to take a Kaizen approach. Step back and think about where your relationship has gone wrong. Ask yourself the following questions. Do you know a clear reason or reasons why your relationship has declined? If so, is there something that you could have done differently? Try to be as objective as possible here. If you're not sure what has gone wrong, what is the best way to find out? Would that person respond to you asking them directly, either in person or in writing? Or would it be better to get help from a mutual friend or relation? Once you have thought through some of the causes for your relationship breakdown, think of how best to go about building bridges. This will very much depend on the nature of your relationship and what has gone wrong, but remember to be mindful of the following. Patience. You probably won't be able to fix everything at once, so keep in mind your Kaizen small steps and take things slowly. Start out with a coffee or a letter and go from there. Clear communication. Be honest about your feelings and try to convey them as calmly as possible. Make sure that you listen to the other person's point of view too. Apologize. If you have something to apologize for, then do so. Or be ready to accept the other person's apology if they are at fault. Try to avoid the classic non-apology, such as "I'm sorry if you were offended by X." Be willing to move on once you have apologized. Remember the good times and plan for the future. Keep in mind why that person was so special to you in the first place and why you want to salvage the relationship. Where can you go together in the future? If you find that the relationship is impossible to salvage, then accept that sometimes it is better to let go of things that are making us miserable. It can be hard to face up to the decline of a relationship. especially when you have invested a lot of energy into it. But as relationships develop as we get older, there might be ones which don't serve us anymore. This might be a friend who seemed like the best person in the world at first, but who then gradually starts to make comments which make you feel bad about yourself, or a colleague who starts off seeming friendly, but who then turns on you and makes you feel miserable. It can be hard to completely cut off contact from some relationships, especially if they are a family member or if you have to see that person every day, but be very mindful of how they make you feel and do try to limit your contact with them as much as you can. Seek support from others to help you with this too, such as another colleague who can change the meeting schedule, or another family member who can keep you away from your annoying uncle at your annual family gathering. Focus your energy on people who boost you and who you come away from feeling positive. If a person's behavior ever extends into being abusive or harmful towards you, it is important that you cut off contact with that person altogether if possible. If your partner, a friend or a family member ever treats you disrespectfully or causes you harm, whether that is emotional or physical, then do please seek support to help extricate yourself from the situation. One kind word can warm 3 winter months. Japanese proverb. Connecting with others. Western society venerates self-starters, but it is impossible to be entirely self-reliant all of the time. Being in Japan and experiencing their more collectivist culture really brought home to me the benefits of having a strong support network around you. Although the value system of the younger generation in Japan is slowly shifting towards more individualism, there is still an emphasis on collectivity and group loyalty, especially with family, friends and colleagues. You can't be expected to do all the heavy lifting when it comes to feeling good about yourself, and it is always helpful to talk to others to get you through tough times. If you are feeling in need of some support, adopt a Kaizen approach and think about how you could build up a better network around you. Reach out online to find your tribe. Thankfully, one of the good things about social media is that it is easy to access those who have similar interests to you. Try searching hashtags on Instagram or finding groups on Facebook. If you are finding it hard to meet people who you connect with in real life, then seeking them out online can make you feel less isolated. Some people might find it easier to open up to others online too. First Kaizen step. Find 5 new social media accounts that you wish to follow or send a message to somebody who you already follow and haven't connected with before. Think about ways you can reach out to existing people. As well as trying to reduce your exposure to people who make you feel negative, try having a think about those in your life who lift you up and make you feel better about yourself. Is there a friend or colleague who, whenever you meet them, you leave brimming with confidence? This might not always be somebody obvious or even somebody who you are constantly in touch with, so if this is the case, think about ways that you could build on the relationship and try to see them more often. My grandma always told me that I should fill my time with people who are radiators, not drains, and it is advice that I have always tried to follow. First Kaizen step. If you are feeling particularly low, try asking one of your friends to send you a daily compliment by text message. Or if you suspect that a friend is feeling down, how about compiling several compliments from those around him/her and sending them? Build some links with your local community. The fact that we now move accommodation a lot more than previous generations and often commute long distances to our jobs means that we feel less of a connection to the place that we live. This can be especially true if you live in a big city where the population is larger and more transient. If you are feeling this sense of disconnection, think of some small ways you can rebuild your links with your community. Can you volunteer or find a local class to join? If you have a baby or small children, are there fellow parents who you can try to connect with? Practicing self-love. Self-love sounds like something a crusty old hippie might start evangelizing about on a beach in Goa, but it is actually a great way to help combat your inner critic. Self-love or self-compassion is part of Buddhist teachings, which encourage showing patience, kindness, and a non-judgmental attitude towards yourself. It is about accepting that you aren't always perfect and acknowledging that there is always room for growth. As well as opening up to those around you, here are ideas for some small things to try to help you pick yourself up when you're feeling low. Check in with yourself. If you are feeling particularly down on yourself, try closing your eyes for 5 minutes and doing a body scan. Identify areas of tension and then try taking a deep breath and breathing into them. Try relaxing your tongue and jaw, as this is usually an area that holds tension. Kaizen first step. Try the body scan exercise on page 116. Practice self-massage. If there are areas of tension in your body, try gently massaging them to see if you can release any tight muscles. Most people can't afford a professional massage every day, sadly, but you will find that a lot can be done with a humble tennis ball. There are lots of online tutorials for how to practice this. Use mindfulness to help treat your inner critic with compassion. If you find that you are overwhelmed with negative thoughts and your inner critic is running away with itself, take 5 minutes out to meditate. Full guidelines on how to do so are on page 133. Let the negative thoughts pass over you and acknowledge that they exist, but try not to judge yourself. Note how you feel afterwards. Treat your body like a friend. Rather than feeling like you are battling against your body, try thinking of it as a friend who you have to look after and who supports you. When you think bad thoughts about your body, stop yourself and question whether you would think something like that about a friend. First Kaizen step. Allocate 1 day to combat every bad thought you have with a positive thought. Be kind to yourself. Recall a time when a loved one or colleague has shown you kindness and think about how that felt. Perhaps write it down. Can you replicate that feeling when thinking about yourself? Don't beat yourself up. If you have messed up at work or in a personal relationship, remember that everybody makes mistakes and that it is an experience that you can learn from. If you need to apologize to somebody, then do so, then try not to punish yourself further. Write down reminders of times when you felt good about yourself. Buy a pack of sticky notes and each morning write down a memory of when you felt good about yourself or proud of achieving something, such as the time when I helped the old man next door with his groceries, or the time when I looked completely amazing at Sue's wedding. First Kaizen step. Write a positive memory on a sticky note and attach it to your bedroom mirror to remind yourself of it all week. Keep a compliment list or journal. As well as cultivating memories of when you felt good about yourself, remember to relish times when others have boosted you too. If you receive a compliment from a friend, family member or colleague, write it down in your journal at the end of the day, or keep a list in the notes section of your phone. Return to the list whenever you feel a bit low and see if it transforms your mood. Learn to say no and set boundaries. Part of practicing self-compassion is not overstretching yourself by doing things that you don't want to do. Do you find that you are overwhelmed with trying to see everybody and fit everything in? Try to designate at least 1 or 2 nights per week for vegging out, doing your washing and cooking something healthy. Having more control over your own schedule and setting boundaries can feel wondrously liberating. Set yourself a new challenge. If your confidence is low, learning a new skill or meeting new people can be a brilliant antidote. There are lots of ideas for how to go about this in the next chapter. Remember that it isn't about being perfect, but about having fun and opening yourself up to new ways of enjoying yourself and/or new groups of people.